In last week's episode of Soap, Chester had a plan. To keep from being lonely in the basement, he made friends with a pet rat named Arnold. Unfortunately, Benson didn't know he was a pet. This ruined Chester's plan, not to mention any plan Arnold might have had. Meanwhile, Bert told Danny a plan to help him change a lane, and Carol told Jody her plan to keep the baby. Tim and Corinne's plan for their wedding night was interrupted by a call from Tim's mother saying she was dying. Tim, who was sure she was faking, decided to go to her immediately or by the weekend at the latest. Dutch had to go on the run, but planned to return to see Eunice. And Chester, although he hadn't planned anything of the kind, had an attack and was rushed to the hospital. Confused? You won't be after this week's episode of Soap. This is the story of two sisters, Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell. These are the Tates, and these are the Campbells. And this is Soap.
At approximately 9:05, the doorbell rang. Then what?
Then what?
I told you.
Tell us again.
Tell us again.
I went to the door, I opened it, I discovered Mr. Tate on the doorstep unconscious.
I don't know how much longer I can stand this waiting.
Don't worry, Mother. I'm sure we're gonna hear soon.
You'd think they'd have a pinball machine or something around here.
Really?
Hey, a person can be sad and still play pinball at the same time.
Mrs. Tate. Mrs. Tate, your husband is still in a coma.
Oh.
And we won't have the tests back for at least 24 hours.
Oh, the poor dear man. And you can't do anything until then?
Well, I'm afraid my hands are tied. But there is someone here who just might be able to help. It's this lad right over here.
Me?
I don't understand.
Well, you see, Mrs. Tate, there's still very little we know about the power of love. Just a few minutes ago, your husband spoke his son's name and seemed to draw strength from it. And I feel that if we brought this boy to his father's bedside, he just might mean the difference between life and death.
Well, yes. Certainly, by all means.
You must be quite a human being to have touched another person so deeply.
Thank you, sir.
This way, Arnold.
Doctor, I believe there's been a slight misunderstanding.
This is Billy. This isn't Arnold.
Oh.
Arnold was a rat.
Well, personality aside, I still feel if we could locate this Arnold and bring him to Mr. Tate.
No, that's not possible, Doctor. Benson killed Arnold.
All right, we don't want any trouble. Hands flat on the wall.
I had him pegged from the start. There was something about his eyes.
And of course, the color of my skin's got nothing to do with it.
Arnold was a real rat.
A pet rat, a rodent. I killed it with a broom.
Oh, I still don't like those eyes of his.
There's nothing. I don't like your entire body.
Look, Mrs. Tate, why don't you go home and get some sleep? I'll call you as soon as I get the reports back.
Thank you, Doctor.
Sure.
When you came upon Mr. Tate, did any of you see this man lurking in the area? Goes by the name of Dutch.
No, sorry, Ken.
no.
Thank you.
No!
Just routine.
Wait a minute. Let me see that picture. Why, I've seen this man.
You have?
Of course, it's Benito Mussolini, you fool.
Thank you.
Officer, do you think I might have that? Just in case I see somebody suspicious in the neighborhood?
Okay, sure, but be careful. He's considered dangerous.
Thank you.
I'll get the car and meet you around front.
Thank
Billy?
you.
Thanks.
Major?
Well, I suppose you know why I wanted the picture, don't you, Mother?
Yes, Eunice, I know.
What do you think?
But I think he looks better in person.
No, Mother, I mean about us.
Well, Eunice, it's very hard for me to approve. I mean, the man's a convicted killer. But then, of course, so is Daddy.
And an embezzler, too.
Yes, so it's hard for me to disapprove, too. The difference is, Eunice, when your father and I first started out, we had all kinds of possibilities. The world was ours. You and Dutch wouldn't have that.
But I love him, Mother.
I know, Eunice. But sometimes love just isn't enough.
Hey, hey! Oh,
New York University. Don't tell me somebody in this house is actually thinking of going to college.
I am going to go to college.
Does the college know? You know, it may come as a shock to you. Things have changed. For instance, they no longer use quills and parchment.
Quills and parchment! I really don't care to discuss this with you, Elaine.
Aren't you going to feel awfully out of it?
No. Why should I?
Because you're so old.
Elaine, I may not be 20, but I'm not a dinosaur.
You're a dinosaur! I don't know. If I was your age, I wouldn't go to college. Probably wouldn't leave the house.
That's it.
Whoa! What's happening?
Oh, she's crazy! I'll put her upstairs!
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Why didn't you let me kill her? I want to.
Ma, you don't have to kill her, because we got a plan.
Man, listen, it's a great plan.
Oh, good. What is it? A knife, poison, what?
We're gonna kill her with kindness.
You're gonna kill her with kindness?
That's right. And I think it's time to get started.
You see, what he's gonna do is not let her dress, eat, sleep, nothing, because there isn't anything good enough for her. And she can't get mad because it's all done out of love, you see? He's gonna kill her with kindness.
If that doesn't work, can I just kill her?
Sure.
Your mother needs hormone shots. Don't. It's a brand new dress.
Oh. I don't want garbage like this touching your skin.
Danny, what is going on?
It's not good enough for you. Nothing's good enough for you, baby.
Well, it's true. It only costs $400. But wait a second. That's
Well,
still...
I'm sorry, but it won't do. Not for you. Not for my woman. Mwah.
This isn't like you.
Good God, look at this garbage. I'm sorry, Elaine, but you can forget about
no,
these.
wait.
No, absolutely not. No way. Elaine, I'm sorry, but I love you too much to see you dressed in rags like this. Elaine.
What?
What the hell is that?
What?
That.
What? Oh!
This!
Oh, no! Danny, stop it! Stop it, you yuck!
Look at how flimsy that is.
I don't believe this.
Don't sit! This cushion is not clean. Other people have sat here.
Danny, we have to be at a restaurant in 15 minutes. Let me see if I can find something to wear, okay? Maybe I have something that you like.
Okay. Okay, I'll go get cleaned up. I can't keep my hands off you. Mwah. And this one's no good either.
working?
I don't know. It's a little too soon to tell, but she seems very confused.
So am I.
Danny,
Oh, you ready so soon, babe?
is this all right?
Wow. That's more like it.
You're sure? You are sure that you like this?
It looks almost as good as you. Don't wait up.
Yeah, I'll have a nice time.
Thanks. I'm sorry, but it didn't look as good from the back.
Well, what do you say? Carol, generally when a girl gets a marriage proposal, she looks up from a chicken yakitori.
What about sex?
What about it?
You said you would never go to bed with me again. Call me old-fashioned, but I consider sex with my husband a part of marriage.
Well, I'd try.
You'd try.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. That's a very relaxing way to live. With a guy who closes his eyes and pretends his wife is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Carol, I'm not sure, but I think when one person asks someone else to marry them, no one's supposed to make fun of anybody for at least a minute or two.
Why are you doing this? Guilt?
No? Well, it's true, I think I should. But Carol, what's also true is I'm actually kind of excited about having the baby.
Somehow I never pictured that.
Well, neither did I. And while I'm not what Dr. Spock had in mind when he wrote his chapter Becoming a Father, it's very hard not to be involved when you're bringing a new life into the world. Carol, this is my baby, too. And since I've been a part of its beginning, I want to be a part of the rest of its life. It can work, Carol. We really care for each other. We love being together, and you'd never have to worry about me looking at another woman.
I don't know, Jody. I just don't know.
Carol, I promise you that if we get married, I'll never touch another man again.
Excuse me, please. I think I just stabbed myself.
Wrong. You stick a rusty knife into my heart by leaving the priesthood, and you want to know what's wrong?
Ma, there's no knife in anybody's heart.
I feel I got an elephant on my chest, and he contradicts me. And that's the kind of thing a mother really wants to hear just before she dies.
I'm sorry, Ma, but the dying act doesn't work anymore. You're not fooling anyone.
Tim, I don't think you should be quite so hard on her.
Oh, perfect. Your mother's at death's door, and you had to bring along the bimbo.
Well, it's true we haven't gotten along quite as well as we might.
Oh, why stop there? While you're at it, why don't you just step forward and spit on the bed?
Mom!
Listen, you just remember one thing. You remember that if anybody asks you who killed your mother, remember to say it was me, Timothy Flotsky, the fallen priest. Now get out of here and let me die in peace.
Look, Ma, I fell in love with Corinne, and I married her. For the first time in my life, I did something for me instead of for you. It's called living your own life, Ma. But of course you wouldn't know about that. And all you know about is making my life miserable and treating Corinne like garbage. You're a real expert at that.
Tim? She's not breathing.
Of course she's not breathing. She's playing our I'll hold my breath till I get what I want routine.
Tim, I think she's dead.
She's not dead.
She's dead.
She's not dead.
She's 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 dead.
Okay, I'll tell him. Right, okay, bye-bye.
Don't you ever go to lunch?
No, I have it catered. Mr. de Blasio called. Said if he doesn't have a payment on your wife's loan by Friday, he sincerely hopes you have a good orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, no.
Problems?
Yep.
Oh, you're too nice to have problems.
Thanks, Sal.
You're much too nice.
Sally? Sally, what are you doing back there?
Nothing.
Sally, I'm a married man, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just got carried away. I mean, it's so hard. Every day I see you, and you're so incredibly good-looking. You must know how irresistible you are. And it's just so hard not to...
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Just really sorry.
Hey, it's really okay.
Anyway, I'm sure you must be used to it by now. Women crawling all over you. I'm sure you can't even take public transportation anymore.
Well, no, that hasn't happened.
I mean, if Al Pacino ever saw you, he'd probably never leave his house again. I mean, why bother?
Well, I don't know about that.
Believe me.
He is a little short, I hear.
I am sorry, Danny, and I promise it'll never happen again. From now on, I'll just look at you and be happy.
I don't know. A break is fine, but I think it's a mistake for guys on girders 40 stories high to be horsing around with a Frisbee.
I'll go break it up.
Thanks, Dan. Any messages, Sal?
Nothing,
Oh, good. Oh, I'm so bushed. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's terrific. Oh, a massage. Oh, that's so terrific. Oh, massages are wonderful. I really love that. Yes, massage the head. That's nice touch. So nice touch. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Sal. Thank you very much.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Your nose got stuck. That could happen.
It's so hard for me. I mean, you must know. You see how women respond.
To what?
To you. You're at that age, that time of your life when you're at your most attractive.
Oh, well.
Oh, you are. You're so dynamic. That's what it is. You're dynamic.
Oh, well, I don't know. Lately I've been taking this new vitamin B complex. That's probably what you got yourself.
And it's so hard for me to be around you every day. To have to look at you and to feel your presence. Sometimes I almost feel faint.
Oh, that's not eating a good breakfast, Sal. I mean, that feeling of faintness, that's what that is.
No.
Yeah,
It's from you.
No, a couple of eggs, a few sausages should be fine.
I look at you, and I get weak. It's been that way for weeks, this weakness. You're the most masculine man I've ever seen.
The plaid shirt, Sal. You're responding to a plaid shirt. Where's Danny? I gotta go find Danny. If I know Danny, he's joined the Frisbee game. It's a plaid shirt, and don't you worry about that. I mean, I've seen it happen a lot. It's in Oregon all the time. The girls fainting from lumberjacks.
Doctor, are you sure?
Oh, yes, this is definitely a lesion of the brain. You see, it's the type of lesion that can totally alter a person's behavior. For example, a completely mild-mannered person might suddenly turn violent.
Well, if that's the case, then surely a man in his condition couldn't be held responsible for his acts.
Oh, no, certainly not. Any behavior induced by the lesion is, of course, entirely beyond his control. And as I understand it, there has been a recent unpleasantness.
Is he referring to the murder or the stock fraud?
Well, whatever the problem, legally speaking, he is suffering from temporary insanity. And this brain scan alone is medical proof of his condition.
Well, what can be done? I mean, about the lesion itself.
We could do nothing, and perhaps the attacks will subside. But on the other hand, he might become permanently violent. And lastly, he might just drop dead. Now, on the other hand, we could operate, but you see, he might not survive the operation. Or he might come out of the surgery alive, but with the personality of a codfish.
Well, it's nice to have so many choices. I just wish one of them were good.
Yes, well, this decision is, thank you, is yours and yours alone, Mrs. Tate. I am afraid that there is simply not much time.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Of course, it would be much easier if this were a routine surgery, but this procedure is far from routine. It's the kind of surgery that requires an extraordinary combination of knowledge, skill, not to mention courage and stamina.
Yes, well, Jessica, I think if you had an hour or so alone with your thoughts, then maybe...
Yes, sir, if I could pull this one off, this would be quite a feat.
Doctor.
Oh, yes, well, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I guess you'd better go ahead.
You want me to go ahead with the surgery?
Yes?
You've made a wise decision, Mrs. Tate. This will be good for everyone concerned, and the chances of your husband pulling through are very good. And I, of course, will be launched into stardom.
Oh, Mary, I didn't know what to do. Do you think I did the right thing?
I'm sure you did, Jess. I'm sure you did.
Golly, it's just such a difficult decision to make.
I know.
Chester might die.
He won't.
But the doctor said that he...
He'll be fine. I just know he will.
You think so?
Yes, I do. Chester is very strong.
That's right. He is, isn't he? Oh, yes. Mary, you remember the winter we all had the flu and Chester had the flu and he did all the cooking, flu and all. Of course, he did all the eating, too. Mary, he's just got to be all right. He has to be. I don't think I could stand anything else.
I'll buy you a cheeseburger.
With French fries?
Will Bert and Danny's plan really change Elaine? And if it does, what will she change into? Will Carol accept Jody's proposal? Will Tim blame himself for his mother's death forever, or just for the rest of his life? What is Sally up to? And are either Bert or Danny up to what she's up to? Will Eunice ever spend another night with Dutch? And if so, will there be passion, desire, lust, or at least some nice refreshments? Has Jessica made the right decision to go ahead with Chester's operation? And if it doesn't work out, will she find happiness living with a codfish? These questions and many others will be answered on next week's episode of Soap. In last week's episode of Soap, the doctor told Jessica Chester has a brain tumor and that's what caused him to kill Peter. Jessica told the doctor to operate in order to save Chester's life, although she was told he could come out of the operation with the personality of a pineapple. Mrs. Flotsky told Tim she was dying because he left the priesthood and married Corinne. Tim told her to knock it off, which she did by dropping dead. And although Bert didn't want her to, Mary started college, something she's always wanted. Danny wants to change Elaine, and his plan is not to let her eat, sleep, or dress. Elaine hasn't changed. She just wants to live. Eunice wants to be with Dutch, but since he's wanted by the police, he can't be with her even though he wants to. And Jody told Carol he wants to marry her. Only Carol isn't sure that's what she wants. Confused? You won't be after this week's episode of Soap. This is the story of two sisters, Jessica Tate
and Mary Campbell. These are the Tates. And these are the Campbells. And this is Soap.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Ma.
This is for Tim. Where is he?
I don't know.
Well, this is a welcome to our family present for him. Oh, Corinne, they have the loveliest things in the hospital gift shop. I bought one in red for Daddy. Of course, being unconscious, he couldn't get too excited about it.
Well, I think Tim's left me. I've only been married 6 days, and already he's left me.
Oh, Corinne. No, darling, he hasn't left you.
He's 10 hours late.
Traffic.
Ma, he's been very depressed since his mother's death. Plus, he's not too thrilled about moving in here.
Neither am I.
Oh, boy. Boy. You, Simpson. These boots have been sitting outside my door for a week now. I'd like them shined.
Yes, sir.
Oh, maybe that's him.
Yes.
Tim, where have you been? I've been worried. What happened?
Corinne, I spent the last 10 hours thinking, and I've come to the realization that I'm cursed. Wherever I am, I bring death or destruction. I can't live here.
Good.
Tim, you are not cursed. You're a part of this family now. You can stay here just as long as you want to. You know, Tim, let me tell you something. When Mr. Tate and I first got married, well, we moved in with my parents. And look, we're still here. Now, I don't want to hear any more nonsense. You are staying.
Thank you. I guess it's silly of me to think that my mere presence could cause something bad to happen.
Well, if you ain't the kiss of death, you come awfully close.
Thanks for the ride.
My pleasure.
So much nicer than taking the train.
Well, it's so much nicer than driving alone. Listen, could I possibly get you to offer me a cup of coffee?
A cup of coffee?
Or tea? Root beer? Glass of water? Kaopectate? Anything. I'm easy.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Of course, coffee. Come in. Okay. I'll make some coffee. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. Ah, it's a nice homey place you have here.
Well, it's home.
I suppose that's what gives it that homey quality.
Probably. Oh, coffee. I wanted some coffee. What?
Listen, are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Fine. I guess I'm just a little nervous. I've never had a professor in my home before. I've never had a professor before.
You ought to try it.
I'll make the coffee.
Ridiculous. Well, Bob, I am sorry, but she's put her foot down. I mean, this time she wants you to spend some time with me alone.
Well, what's the matter with this girlfriend of yours? Is she afraid I'll see her with no clothes on and throw up?
No, Bob, that's not it.
Hey, who are you?
The coffee will be ready in a
Hey,
minute.
there, who is this guy?
Chuck, why don't you go on upstairs?
Oh, getting a little on the side, huh?
Bob.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a nooner.
Bob, who did?
Incredible act they have there.
I'm afraid that's not an act.
Is he home yet?
No.
Oh, thank God. I hope I have time for a nap. He never lets me sleep. But first, I've got to have some food. He hasn't let me eat in days. I'm faint from hunger. I just pray he likes this dress. He's destroyed all my clothes.
My daughter-in-law.
Happy girl.
So, do you like teaching?
More now than before.
I'll see if the coffee's ready.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hey.
This is Anatole Martins, my English professor. This is my husband, Bert. And this is my son, Danny.
How are you? How you doing?
I can't tell you how good even this crap tastes.
Oh, Elaine, what are you doing? Where did this come from? And that dress.
Oh, no.
She'll never learn. Nice meeting you.
I think maybe I better go. Mary, see you in class, yes?
Yes, yes, of course.
Nice meeting you. Good night.
Did Mother Boy leave?
What's he talking about?
Her teacher. Boy, does he have eyes for her. Why, I'll never know that he does.
Don't listen to them. They're crazy.
Hey, listen, I'd watch it if I were you. I mean, face it. This guy's got everything that you don't. Looks, class, smarts. See you, loser.
It's happening. Just like I said.
What?
You're in school a week. The teacher's in the house. I hate to think where he'll be by mid-semester.
Bert, the man gave me a ride so I wouldn't have to take the train.
Mary, please, the old train ride ploy. Mary, I know all about this stuff. I'm an expert. I got a welder, Frank. His wife went back to school. Wonderful wife he had. Was known for her pot roast. Anyway, she takes a course in another. And what happens is the teacher assigns them Lady Chatterley's Lover to read. You don't get that? Lady Chatterley's Lover? Then he assigns another hot book, Ulysses. And then he assigns another hot book, and one hot book after another, until finally Frank's wife isn't cooking pot roast anymore. Frank's wife is just cooking. And that was that. She up and left Frank for this pervert professor. Frank told me she stopped shaving her legs on a stranger in hell. So don't tell me about schools, Mary. Don't tell me about professors, Mary, because I know all about it.
Here.
What? What's this?
The class I'm taking is in poetry, and that's my first poem.
To my husband? To my husband. I love him so that words merely diminish the feeling. I would not attempt to describe a rose.
That's what I did in school.
I'm sorry, Mary. I'm sorry. I really am. If I didn't love you so much, I wouldn't get so crazy.
Oh, Bert, I know. But listen, I am not leaving you. I love you. You've got to stop being afraid.
I know. You forgive me?
What do you think?
Hey, Mayor, now, I don't want you to feel bad. But your poem didn't rhyme.
Well, the thing is, everyone in this family except you and me is completely bonkers. Now, what worries me is it hereditary? I mean, is this what I have to look forward to? Setting sail on the banana boat?
Don't be silly. First of all, it's not hereditary, and second of all, it's not even insanity. The people in this house are just a little unconventional, that's all.
Unconventional? Our father's a murderer, our sister marries a priest, grandpa's fighting World War II, and mother lives on Mars. I don't know what to do.
Okay, Billy, let's talk. Sit down.
Thanks.
Get up. What? And get out.
But we were going to talk.
And we did, and it was just lovely. And do come back sometime, and we'll continue.
Wait a minute, Eunice, I have something to say. I'm
well,
not
that's
finished.
okay. I'm finished, and I loved every minute of it. It was charming, delightful, and I'll see you. I missed you. No. Where were you? Where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna make love to you.
Now?
Well, if I wait till after I leave, I don't think I'll enjoy it as much.
Wait a minute. What happened to talking?
Eunice, I'm a fugitive. I didn't just climb through that window from a day at the office. I only got a little time. I want to spend it being close to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dutch.
Eunice, I've got to... Hold it! Don't Billy, no! Listen, you creep. I'm a green belt in karate. You should know that.
We're lovers.
My hands are lethal weapons. What?
We're in love.
You and him? Put me down, please. A convicted killer. Well, why not? Why should you be any less crazy than anyone else in this house? And I'm next. I know it. I already have the first symptom. I'm talking to myself.
I guess I better get going.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, Dutch, take me with you. It'll only take me a couple of minutes to pack.
Forget it, Eunice.
No, really, I'll be a big help. I can be a decoy. I can be a lookout. I kiss nice.
Eunice, put the suitcases away. You're not going. This is no trip for you and your matching luggage. I gotta go by myself.
Oh, Dutch, what's gonna happen to us? When will I see you again?
I don't know.
Oh, Dutch. Oh.
So long, sweetheart.
Be careful on that roof. It's so steep.
Here. I was stuck behind the backboard.
Sorry I'm late. I'll have a draft, please.
Where you been?
How's with Carol?
Are you sure you're gay?
She had to go to the doctor, and I thought I ought to go along. Thanks.
Jody, isn't this togetherness thing getting a little out of hand? I mean, it would make sense if it was another guy. Wouldn't be all that crazy about the idea, but at least I'd understand.
Dennis, this is a very confusing time for her. She just found out she's pregnant, and I feel responsible.
You feel responsible? What about the guy that got her pregnant? Where in the hell is he, huh?
You're looking at him.
You're kidding.
I guess you want to know why.
I'm still wondering how.
It just happened. It was late one night, she was crying, and she was real upset. I held her in my arms, and, it happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Well, how does it work these days? Does she have to cry every time, or can you just skip over that and go straight to the fun stuff?
Yes, please.
Where does that leave us?
I don't know. I'm waiting for her answer. I asked her to marry me.
Marry you?
I think it can work.
Oh, forget it. Hey, I tried it. It doesn't work. And even if you can make it work, I'll make sure you don't.
It's not raining out. Or in, for that matter.
This is the only thing I've got that Danny hasn't destroyed. I don't know how much longer I can take this. Why is he doing this to me?
Doing what?
Bert, come on. He won't let me sleep. He won't let me eat. He won't let me get dressed.
Oh, that. Well, you had to do something. Well, he can't leave you and he can't stand you. You asked.
Am I that bad?
The worst.
Got to stop. You cannot keep treating Elaine like that.
But it's working. She's not nearly as nasty.
Of course not. She's too tired and weak to be nasty.
I'm changing her.
Danny, you are not changing her. If you're doing anything, you're killing her.
Well, what am I gonna do? I can't spend the rest of my life with her the way she is.
Why don't you try being nice?
Nice. Are you kidding? With her, nice?
Listen, I went with a guy once after your father died. A guy who, for one reason or another, I was really rotten to. I don't know why. I guess I was just going through a rotten phase. Anyhow, I was rotten to him, and he was nice to me. So I got rottener, and he was still nice. And then I got really rotten, and he still stayed nice. I finally gave up being rotten because there was no one to appreciate it. Being rotten is only satisfying if it has an effect.
So you think if I start being really, really nice, she'd stop being rotten?
It's possible. It's worked before. It worked with me.
What about the guy?
He's in the dining room. I married him.
Why are you like that?
I wasn't always like that. I used to be nice.
Well, if you used to be nice, you know how to be nice. Why don't you just be nice?
Because I'm scared. The people I was nice to turned out not to be so nice.
We're nice.
I thought they were nice, too.
Look, I guess there's no reason why you should, but I wish you'd trust us.
Well, I guess we can eat now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Benson, I think he's looking a little better, don't you?
Better than what?
Than before.
He looked dead to me before. He looks dead now.
Oh, Benson, he's not dead.
Well, I didn't say he was dead. I said he looks dead.
Chester, you just have to be all right. I mean, you just have to be. We can't go on without you.
Shoot.
Chester, you are the best husband, the best father, the best friend, the best person. You are the best, Chester. We need you. Darling, did you know that Benson's here? Benson. He's been sitting by your bed for hours, worried to death.
Bored to death.
Benson, he moved. He moved. Do you know what that means?
Well, I guess that means he ain't dead.
Chester? Yoo-hoo! Can you hear me, Chester? Woo! How are you feeling, dear? Do you feel all right?
Where am I?
You're in the hospital, dear.
Who are you?
Chester. Look at that, sick as a dog, and he still finds the strength to tease me.
Orderly, who is this woman? I better get the doctor.
Chester, are you feeling all right?
Who is Chester?
Oh, Chester, you're Chester.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you're talking about.
He's alive. I can't believe it. He is alive. Do you know what this means? Only he and the chimpanzee have ever survived this operation.
Doctor, he doesn't even recognize us. He doesn't even know his own name.
Give him a chance, please. Give him a chance. The man just got out of a coma. Mr. Tate, can you hear me?
I'd like a fudgicle, please.
He thinks I'm the good humor man. Common mistake. Mr. Tate, I want to ask you a few questions. Do you know what month this is?
July.
You got that one wrong, too. Mr. Tate, can you tell us who this gentleman is over here?
That's Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier! Okay, Mr. Tate. One last thing, Mr. Tate. Do you know who you are, Mr. Tate?
Oh, my God. I'm Gunga Din.
You are not Gunga Din.
Then I'm Gloria Swanson.
Doctor, what are you doing?
I am giving him something to make him sleep. I can't stand it. The man is behaving like an idiot. Gunga Din. Well, Mrs. Tate, the lesion was much bigger than we thought. And I might have removed a little more of the healthy tissue than I planned. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any, but these operations are generally so messy, it's hard to see what the hell you have on your knife.
Doctor, do you mean to tell me he's going to be this way forever?
I don't know, Mrs. Tate. Time will tell. In time, you will have your husband back, or I will have a hell of a lawsuit on my hands. Yeah, bye, Mrs. Tate. I'll see you tomorrow.
Just a minute, I have to talk.
Chester? Chester? Gunga.
Miss Swanson?
Oh, Chester. No matter how you are, or who you are, I'll always, always love you.
Is Tim really the kiss of death? Is Eunice ever going to see Dutch again? Is Elaine really changing? Is Mary going to have to worry about more than just grades with her professor? Is Jody going to wind up with Carol or Dennis? Is Chester going to continue to think of himself as Gunga Din? And if so, will Jessica buy him an elephant? These questions and many others will be answered on next week's episode of Soap.